All right, so I could answer this question really easily without any equations. Right? Just by looking at it, I can answer this. If I change this to 100 units, not 50, you can pretty much do the math out in your head. I just times this by 2 if I divide this by 2. Does that make sense? Did I lose anybody there? Otherwise, we can go through how to actually work this. Look at your question on your homework. Hey, number 11. Given 21, 8, 10 in a 100-pound bag, how convenient that I gave you a 100-pound bag, which that doesn't exist. How much of that is available, blah, 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 blah. Got it? So I even made it even easier. You should answer that question right now. Just put the answer down right now. Okay. Who thinks they understand it? Well, since 100-pound bags, there's 100 units, right? 100 pounds. And there's 100 units in percentage.
Yeah. So 21 would be half of the...
Exactly the same, yeah?
21, 8, and 10. 21, 8, and 10.
Yell it out loud.
21, 8, and 10.
Well, 50, you cut it in half.
Yeah, exactly. If it was 50 pounds, you'd take that number and cut it in half. But because it's only 100, it's 100 pounds and 100%, it's literally exactly the same.
So if it's a 50-pound bag, it's 11, 4, and 5.
Exactly. It would be, well,
11.
10 and a half, 4, 5.
Yeah, 10 and a half, 4, 5.
Do you see how if it was a 50-pound bag, it would be 10 and a half, 4, 5?
Yeah.
You have such a confused look on your face.
True, because 100-pound bag, I thought, what you say?
If I change that to 50-pound bag,
Yeah, then this gonna be half of.
right, half of that, half of that, half of that.
But, and that's why if 100-pound bag, then that's.
It's
why
exactly the same, right? Got it? Well, now that you answered that question, it's going to be hard for me to test if you understand the concept. But there it is. It's that simple. You just need to think it through. Your pounds and percent units, those are very similar. You can play with that. Cut them in half and then use the math. Okay? All right. Given that answer, if I'm told that I need to add 78 pounds of nitrogen, based on this, how many bags do I need to buy? I'm not going to say anything. I want to see if you could figure that. On 50 pounds, not your homework. We're going here at 50 pounds. Okay? Well, I know that I'm putting out how many pounds of N per acre when I put this out? 5 pounds per acre. Right. 5 pounds. I will meet a requirement of 5 pounds per acre by adding this out into the field. Just do the math. Okay. Go ahead and round up. That's a good way. Go ahead and round it up to 80 because you know that the bags are, or just do 78. Okay. How many times would it, go ahead, think it through. If you think you got it, let me know. Okay, I got turn that camera towards me, please. I got 78 pounds that I need to put out, right? How many times does 5 go into 78? You can pull out your calculator if you need. Give me an exact number.
27.
Huh? 27? No.
1,
Come on, somebody got a calculator. What do you got? 15.6. Answer, 15.6 bags. That's that simple. Take that number that you need to put out. You know what the percentage is. That number divided by 5 equals 15.6 bags. You can't buy a 0.6 bag, so it equals 16 bags you need to put out. That simple. I keep saying simple and all the confused looks. So even if you don't understand it, write down the equation. You take that number that you're told to put out, and then you divide it by the pounds in each bag for each nutrient. Got it? No. Anybody want me to bet?
Elemental NPK stuff we just did, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So we're doing 2 different things, right?
This is not that. This is not that. Please only do that 43.6 percentage and that 83 only when we have that word elemental in the equation. It does not come into play in any other time. Do you get it? You gonna explain it to her later? Okay. She's looking at me like, God damn. Okay. There it is. You take that number you're told to put out, divide it by the amount of pounds per acre. Got that? How are we doing on time? Oh, it's 2 o'clock. All right, I'll just flip through these real quick. They're really simple, and none of this stuff is on your homework, okay? You're done as far as learning goes, but let's flip through this real quick. I'll be done in 5 minutes. Nutrition sourcing, finding fertilizers, super important. There are many kinds of fertilizers. There are processed amendments, like the ones that are made in a factory. Animal byproducts and manures, different kinds of compost, and then plant-based nutrition sourcing. Also, well, yeah, moving on. Processed amendments. These are going to be conventional fertilizers and organic fertilizers. These conventional fertilizers would be like the 1616, right? Something that has Osmocote. If you see Osmocote on the side, it's going to be definitely conventional. What that is a slow release coating on the outside of the granular. Organic includes chicken pellets, bone meal. Oh, how did I do this? Soil conditioners and lime. Oh, I guess those soil conditioners and lime are under conventional. No. How did I do that? Oh, soil conditioners are their own. Okay. Conventional amendments, organic amendments, soil conditioners, which don't add any kind of nutritional value, but adjust pH or something like that, basically conditioning your soil like lime. Other amendments include herbicides and pesticides. Accessing processed amendments. Where can you get them in Hawaii? I would go to BEI. It's going to be the wholesale distributor for industrial chemicals, fertilizers. They sell a lot of organic stuff too. Just be educated on where your stuff comes from. How many miles did it travel? Is it worth it in that sense? I would say get a hold of Hawaii Farm Supply Co-op, but they closed down. They're shut down. I went over there the other day. They were gone. Or Better yet, how about a Keaukaha Panieva Farmers Association Supply Co-op? What a great idea for you guys to co-op together, buy large amounts of amendments by the pallet, and then you store them all in one location, and you pay really, really low rates, and you guys get together as an organization, and you buy your supplies that way, and you can save a fortune. Not to mention, what a great business idea for the next portion of the class for somebody to say, start up a co-op where they can make enough money to live off of and then also furnish their friends and family with all the supplies they need at a discounted rate. Well, since this one shut down, I don't know, maybe they didn't do something right. Chances are, since you guys have like an organization that is already kind of built together, you guys have family relationships out there and stuff, there's no reason for you guys to not start up a co-op for your supplies, okay? Animal manures and products. You can get it from yourself or from your neighbor's livestock. Chicken and pig tractors. You know, these are units that you basically move throughout your land that hold chickens in a certain area, and then you move that pen a little bit over. Chickens pull up all the weeds and they poop and they have a great time. And then you keep moving that, adding fertilizers, pulling out weeds. It's a great system. You can use wholesale distributors. BEI. Oh God, that's sticky. BEI sells, chicken manure pellets and all that good stuff. So you can get it from there. You can use fish. Is a great source for nitrogen, potassium, and phosphorus. I strongly recommend that. That's what I use. Fish waste from Seaweed. All you need to do is get over to Seaweed at about 10 o'clock, and they have buckets and buckets and buckets of fish waste that they throw away. You just come in there with a bucket, rubber gloves, and boots, and you go in there and you get all that fish waste for yourself, and then you can use it to make as much fertilizer as you want. I can make about 200 gallons of fish emulsion in about 3 or 4 visits, and that would last me 2 years on the farm, and it cost me nothing but a bag of sugar. Okay? You can use bone or slaughter waste, bone meal or blood meal, and they also have the fish meal too from Oahu. And then you can use things like lactic acid bacteria, which is using milk and processing it to get the whey out. So you make curds and whey. Use that whey as an amendment. Antifungus, all that good stuff. You can do composting. You can get from the city and county the green waste that's available at the dump. Be really, really, really careful. It's laden with disease. You have to take it from there and put it on your property and compost it for up to, at least 6 months, I would say. Being sure to stir it a lot. Okay? Green waste from your friends or from the city. I actually will sometimes park my truck right up next to the guys who are chipping, and I'll ask them, can you blast that into the back of my truck? And they'll actually turn that thing and just covers the entire truck with wood chips. It's like it's going in the radiator, it's going everywhere, all over the entire. And I drive down the road and it's just blowing all over the place. And I didn't have to lift a finger; they just blast it right into my truck. You just have to catch them at the right time. Composted food waste, so you can go out to restaurants and collect their food waste. Good luck getting that from the pig farmers, but if you know the right people, you can get it. Vermicomposting, using worms to compost with. They break down organic material very, very quickly. They create vermicompost, which has plant uptakeable nutrients in it and lots of hormone changing properties. It's amazing stuff. I use soldier flies to do my composting, and what those are soldier flies will go in and land on organic matter, and they will lay these eggs for these larvae. Larvae come out tiny and small. Within 3 or 4 days, they're like this big. They're giant grubs, and then they'll start decomposing and breaking down the organic material so quickly that it'll blow your mind. I don't compost at my house for the nutrients. I just do it to not throw away organic matter into the garbage. So my soldier flies will come in. I'll throw 20, 30 pounds of organic material in my compost bin, and I'll come out the next day and it's all black and decomposed. It's gone, completely gone. And so it's a great way to compost, and the issue with that is you have to watch where the drippings go, because you can actually cause some toxicity in groundwater from that. But it's organic, so it's not all that big a deal. You can also have IMOs. I gave you the write-up on IMO. I'll be doing a class on natural farming, so if you got any questions on that, we can discuss that later. Plant-based amendments include fermented plant juices. You take plant materials, you mix it with a little bit of sugar, and you ferment it, and you can actually leach out of any plant material all the good stuff and then add it to another plant through this process. So I could take leafy material that has a lot of auxin and gibberellic acid and all these wonderful hormones in it, viney, weeds, things that grow readily and really, really fast. Take it and put it into a bucket, mix it with a little bit of sugar, let it sit for about a week. Osmotic pressure pulls out all those hormones, all that wonderful activity within those plants, and then I can use that to spray as a foliar spray on my plants, inducing their hormones and inducing all the wonderful things that are in that original plant material. Mulching is common. Seaweed, a great source of P and K. If you can get out to the ogo fields and do some harvesting for the invasive ogo, they will let you take all that stuff home with you, and then you can use it as a mulch. Of course, you're going to want to mulch on top of your seaweed. You don't want to lay your seaweed out there so that phosphorus cycle I was talking about earlier, that phosphorus, if it's just laying out in the sun just like the nitrogen, can turn into a gas and disappear. So you want to make sure if you're using these things that you're going to mulch over top, just like you would if you were using your nitrogen. Okay? And also cover crops. You can do nitrogen fixing cover crops that will add nitrogen to your environment. So that's a plant-based amendment. That's it. We only went 9 minutes over. That's it. How do you feel? Like you got your ass kicked? I see mushroom clouds just going off on the top of everybody's heads. Did I overdo it? Good. Could you imagine doing this lecture and then having me try to get you on a field trip? That's what the last class did. I need your photo release forms and your RDP form up here. I don't even want to stand up. I'm so beat, man.